Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I also do a bunch of other stuff in my Discord. All of these videos, they do get posted on the subreddit. I make news when there's, news that we have to talk about and stuff like that. The subreddit right here is called DF Sports. You can find my post. My username is Shook right here. And yeah, you can ask me questions about the slate and stuff like that. So definitely check that out. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter right here. These are my handles. Shookgo, Tori Langley 1992. Yes, I'm old, but those are my handles. And if you are interested in joining Discord, I'll have a link to that below where I have in-depth content going over each slate. Player pools for cash and tournaments. I give you a couple players to play. I'm also doing the 2-game slate content, my Discord and stuff like that. So link to that will be down below. Let's go over my lineups from today. So unfortunately, I can't show you my 2-game slate lineup because I don't have players all locked yet, but it's absolutely nuking. It's just destroying. I only have 5 players from the first game. I'm in 5th place. I'm probably the favorite to win the tournament as well. I had Jamal Murray. I had Austin Reeves. I had Michael Porter Jr. I had Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon. So it's just absolutely nuking. Let me see if I can look in Discord. I think I posted a picture of my start. Here's my start, if you want to take a look. So low-owned Austin Reeves, fading Giga Chalk D'Angelo Russell was absolutely huge. So Aaron Gordon was definitely a letdown, but he's really, really popular. Austin Reeves is the hero so far of my lineup, only at 20% ownership. So looking really, really freaking good on the 2-game slate, and then had a really good day on the Showdown. As you guys see, I have low-owned Rui, and I want to talk about that for a second. So this is a little sneak preview of Discord, but obviously you see Tristan Thompson in my lineup. I thought 1% chance he would get entered into the rotation. There was some talks about him. Ham had a quote, said that he wants like 2 or 3 people attempting to guard Jokic. So thought 1% chance maybe Tristan Thompson could be one of those guys. But I knew I was going to take a 0 unless the game blew out, most likely. So it was worth it. Actually, the optimal lineup had a 0 in it, but it was with Reggie Jackson. And then Rui Hachimura, as you can see here, something you can just read this. Early in the series, teams want to, figure out what works, take a shot on rotations, and I thought today, given matchup-wise with Denver, I thought it was a really, really, really good Rui Hachimura spot, and I knew he was going to be very, very low-owned. So I felt comfortable taking the shot there on Rui Hachimura at low ownership, figuring that this matchup and Denver's size and stuff like that fits really well with Rui, and that worked out massively. Rui almost played 30 minutes. Dennis Schroeder was a little disappointing, and then I had Murray, 80, Jokic. So really, really good day on the Showdown overall. Main slate's looking phenomenal. Favorite to ship. And yeah, I hope you guys had a good night tonight. So let's go over this slate. This is honestly I haven't looked at the 2-game slate, but I will go over it briefly for you guys. We'll look at it together. So let's go over this Showdown slate. I think, looking at pricing, I think Tatum I prefer to Butler, but I mean it's really, really close. I don't have a lean on which I like more. I think I definitely want to play Butler and then one of the Boston Stars. We'll see though, but I think they all look great. More so Tatum Butler, but Butler 12-2. I think people are going to see this price tag and be a little bit scared off by it, but I still think he looks very, very good. The floor is very high with him. The ceiling's very high with him. He's going to play 40-plus minutes. He has to do everything for this team. He's playing alongside, I don't have to explain it to you, but he has no co-star. Like, it's just Jimmy Butler on this team. Not a good matchup. Pace of this game, probably going to be very, very bad, but I think Butler looks very, very good. Bam Adebayo at almost 9K. Has had a pretty high floor. Like, he'll probably get you at least 35 fantasy points. I expect, him to play a ton of minutes, especially if Cody Zeller's out. Actually, I don't know. Maybe they'll just insert, like, Highsmith into the rotation. We'll see. But he'll play close to 40 minutes as well. Obviously, a tough matchup against Boston, especially now that they're starting Robert Williams. So, not a play like I'm super excited about. I still think he's a solid play, but the floor is definitely there with him. And if he gets that double-double, he could definitely pay off a 9K. So I like Bam. I think, with this grouping of Kyle Lowry, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, I think Gabe Vincent's the easiest to get to just because he's the cheapest. I think Kyle Lowry definitely has the, I don't know, I think I want to say like highest floor and highest ceiling combo. Straight up, I think Kyle Lowry's the best of them. 6'8", I think is fine. Should play 30 minutes. I think he could honestly play a bit more in this series. I think they just need him out there a bunch. So I think Kyle Lowry is definitely solid. I think I prefer the Boston guards over him, though. Max Strus is purely tournament only. When he's struggling, they will go to Duncan Robinson over him. So I would not play Max Strus and Duncan Robinson together unless, let me look at Duncan Robinson's price. Yeah, I wouldn't play both together at their respective prices because they definitely negatively correlate with each other. But they need shooting, man, especially against Boston. So one of Strus or Duncan's probably going to have a really good game. It's up to you to figure out which one's going to do that. I think Strus definitely has the better path to having a better game, but they really are going to need 3-point shooting against Boston. So I like Strus for tournaments solely because the ceiling is very much so there when he is hitting his shots. He's not going to do much else, but if he is hitting his shots, he does have a high ceiling, and I always like that for Showdown. And I think the price might keep some people off him. So for that reason alone, I think Strus is a pretty strong tournament play. If he's going to be popular, then I'm fine fading. I think Gabe Vincent at 5K is very safe. I think we get at least 25 minutes from him. He'll stuff the stat sheet. He's been shooting the ball very poorly as well. But 5K does seem a bit too cheap for Gabe Vincent, so I think he's pretty strong. Caleb Martin, I think, is solid value as well. I think we get low to mid 20s minutes from him. He's more so of a guy that can, get you a few rebounds, shoot threes, stuff like that. So I think Caleb's safe as well, too solid. Kevin Love at 4'6" probably plays, 15 to 20 minutes, a fine value. I think, Caleb, Gabe Vincent, I prefer to Kevin Love. And then Duncan, just strictly tournament for me, but when he is shooting the ball very well, they'll keep him out there over Max Strus, and that's what happened in this game, and he broke the slate. So, always interested for tournaments. I think the price at 3-4 is, right. So not excited, but a fine tournament dart. And then we have to talk about this value. So we have Cody Zeller at 1K, who's been getting the backup 5. He's questionable with an illness. Now, if he plays, assuming he does get the backup 5, he does stand out as a really good punt at 1K. That's assuming he does get the backup 5 and he is healthy, so we'll have to monitor that. And then if he's in, I also think there is a good chance, not a good chance, but a chance we could see like 8 to 10 minutes of Haywood Highsmith, which is also, if you're going to get, listen, if I knew someone was going to get 8 to 10 minutes and they were $1,000 on Showdown slate, I'm probably going to play that guy. So I think there is a small chance that Haywood Highsmith enters the rotation tomorrow because, like I said in my Discord, coaches want to experiment early in the series, see what works, stuff like that. So I think there definitely is a chance we could see some Haywood Highsmith. But if Cody Zeller is active, fine. The illness is fine, and we know he's getting the backup 5. I'd much rather just play Cody Zeller. But yeah, that's something definitely to keep an eye on. And then if Cody Zeller is out, I would think Highsmith would play. I would think, unless they go Love backup 5, but we'll see. I'd be much more interested in Highsmith if Cody Zeller's out. I still think he's a fine dart either way, but just know there is a good chance you will take a 0 with Highsmith if Zeller's in, but I would feel better about Highsmith if Zeller is out. So hopefully the field doesn't recognize these 1K guys, because I think there is a chance that we could have some 1K guys actually being in a regular season postseason rotation. All right, on to Boston. Like I said, I probably want to get to one of Tatum or Brown. I think both look good. Looking at prices, I think I prefer Tatum to Brown, but both look good in their own rights. Al Horford with Robert Williams starting does get a little bit of a hit. I think people overreact though. I don't think it's as big of a hit as people do think, but very, very safe. I think 7-2 is still a reasonable price for him. I think he's solid. Marcus Smart, I really like. I know he was really, really bad last game, but he's the safest of the guards. I think they're going to want him out there, obviously for his defense. He's going to stuff the stat sheet. I think he's very, very good at 7K. I'd much rather play him over Kyle Lowry. And I think Brogdon's pretty good. So they've been consistently playing Brogdon 30 minutes a game. He's back down to 6'2". I think it's too cheap. So I really like both the Boston guards. Prefer Smart to Brogdon. Derek White, strictly tournament only. If Brogdon's struggling, there is a chance they could go to White, but definitely risky. Priced at 5.42, so it's just like, I think I'd rather play Gabe Vincent over Derek White, you know? And then Robert Williams, I think stands out as the best value play on the slate. I absolutely love Robert Williams. We got news he's probably going to stay into the starting lineup. I don't see how I can get away from it. I think he looks phenomenal for value. And then, like I said, we could see some Grant Williams since it's early in the series. Not entirely positive on it, but it would just be 150 max dart for me. And then, yeah, I think that's going to do it for Showdown. We'll take a look at the 2-game together. I haven't looked at it yet, but with the spend-ups with Tatum and Butler, I don't have a lean. I think they both look great in their own right. I'd probably rather play Smart over Horford. I'd rather play Smart over Lowry. I'd probably rather play Brogdon over Lowry, but that's not a strong lean. I'd rather play Strus over White. I'd rather play Brogdon over Strus. I'd rather play Gabe Vincent over White. I'd rather play Caleb Martin over Love. I'd rather play Gabe Vincent over Caleb Martin. I'd rather play Robert Williams over pretty much anyone in this range. And then, yeah, we went over the 1K punts that I think are viable. Let's quickly just go through this 2-gamer. Let's just look at pricing. So I'm not going to fade Jokic. I'm just not going to do it. I think Tatum's good. I think AD is good. I think Butler and LeBron are good, but I prefer just getting up to Jokic. I don't know if you can fit 2 studs, but I think this Lakers game is the game that I just personally want to target. So Jokic, phenomenal. And then I'd probably go to Anthony Davis over Butler and LeBron, but can't go wrong with either. Jaylen Brown at 8-1's fine. I think Jamal Murray's phenomenal. Once again at 7-9. I played Jokic and Murray together again. 7-9 is just too deep. He just looks phenomenal. Bam Adebayo's fine. Austin Reeves I think is good. D'Lo I think is fine. MPJ, Aaron Gordon I'm pretty high on once again. I think they're both too cheap. Al Horford, pretty high on him once again. 5.5's definitely too cheap for him. Marcus Smart I think is great. Bruce Brown, fine. Kyle Lowry, I think, is good. KCP, a bit overpriced. Back-to-back really good games. I think he'll cool off. Ownership might be a bit inflated. Really like Malcolm Brogdon at 4.9. I think that price tag's too cheap. I like Max Strus quite a bit at 4.8 for tournaments just because the ceiling's there. Derek White's cooked. I like Dennis Schroeder, assuming he continues to start. Like him a lot for value. Gabe Vincent, I think, is solid. Caleb Martin, I think, is solid as well for value. We actually have quite a bit of value on the slate. Robert Williams, best value play on the slate. I'm not fading him. Love's fine. Rui, I like for value. Once again, I hit on him tonight. He played huge minutes. I think he'll probably get some ownership in this, but I like Rui. And then I'm not going to go to anyone else. So I hope, going through this together, had to make it a bit fast, helps you guys a little bit, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.